Well, I am on the Mosquito Flats trail right now. We're headed up to climb Mount Mills, which is up there and to the north, which is that way. So should be a pretty interesting climb. I think right here, this is Rock Creek. So got about a 3-mile approach or so. So about 3 miles we'll actually start the climb of the east face of Mount Mills. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure what lake that is, but there's a pretty cool little lake down there. This whole little valley is pretty nice. I don't know if you could see it, but right up there, there's a little meadow area with the river running through, and then these amazing Sierra peaks up there. So we are at about 1.5 miles back at about 11,000 feet. It's pretty nice right now. There's a nice little breeze, and I hope that keeps up, because without the breeze it gets really warm. It's going to be over 80 degrees, maybe close to 90 today. Hopefully up at 13,000 feet it won't be, but you might be thinking to yourself, hey Chris, what's up with that hat? And I'm going to tell you what's up with the hat. Up here, not just due to the heat, but we're a lot more susceptible to sunburn up here. And the hat is pretty much a necessity to avoid that. Even with sunscreen, you could still get it. So I don't mess around with that anymore. I used to, do that, but a few years ago I had a chunk cut out of my arm, and I don't want that to happen again. So especially if it's out of my head, that wouldn't be good. So yeah, I wear the hat. If it's not cool, I don't really care. It's about functionality here. So something really cool about the Sierras. There's a couple of guys right over there that just passed me. They look like they're ultra marathoners, literally. One of them was wearing a 50K shirt, but one of the cool things about this place is whenever I come up here, I see really cool people. I just ran up to them, ran into them, don't know them at all, and they invited me to join them for their traverse of some peaks here, and that's the kind of thing I like about it up here too. You don't seem to get that elsewhere. It seems like people are a little standoffish, at least where I live. So, I mean, amazing beauty, nice people, it's great. So right now we're heading towards Ruby Lake. So you'll get to see that soon. So here we are at Ruby Lake. We made short work of that. So my trail guide says to follow the trail on the east side of Ruby Lake. This is Ruby Lake, and this is the east side here. There's not really a trail at all, so it's just skirting over all these rocks, And then I think I'm heading up to that little gap in that mountain up there. And our next stop is going to be Lake Mills. So we're already into the talus here. There's obviously no trail. Either that or I'm off course, which is not unusual. But yeah, this talus is fun because you have to really pay attention. These big rocks here, even though they look big, they're very unstable and they move. Even the big huge ones move. So yeah, it's got to be a little bit careful, but this is indicative of any Sierra climb pretty much. So you gotta be able to handle this stuff. So it's not too bad. The rocks are nice and cool too. So, but we're continuing up towards Mills Lake. So it looks like we reached Lake Mills. The distance was about right. The shape of the lake is about right. So I guess I'm going to continue up this route here, and I think I cut off behind one of those ridges. I think this is Mount Mills here. So look at how blue this water is. Up there you've got those little glaciers that are there year-round, and all this water's feeding off of those glaciers. My heart is pounding pretty hard, but we're making our way up. Nice looking spire right there. I don't know what that's called. And again, I think that's my peak there, and I think the summit is actually that rounded top there. You might think it would be that, but I think that's actually lower. So we'll find out the closer we get up. Again, I think the route starts right where that white snow is right there. The white snow, not the yellow snow. This might be as good a time as any to point out some peaks. I need to take a break anyway, so you can see Mills Lake down there. Unless I'm wrong and they find Mills Lake up there, I don't know. But there's Mount Morgan straight ahead. White Mountain is in those peaks way behind it, third highest peak in California. I believe this one here is Mount Dade. This one here is Mount Abbott. That is the Abbott Mills Glacier, or Mills Abbott Glacier. And I think here, it's right up there, is Mount Mills. So really, if you're climbing up here, what you want to do is you're just following this valley pretty much all the way up. I started traversing up the side here because I know I'm going to be climbing this face. So, but you could really just follow the valley all the way up. It's a pretty straight shot. Can't really go wrong once you hit Ruby Lake. So, not too bad. All right, pretty much at the face here. I'm pretty sure I'm on the right track because there's two other guys right up there climbing the same gully I was shooting for. Looks like they're hopefully going to take the right gully. You have to be a little careful because this face here, there could be rock fall danger. You see these shards here, all this stuff. Looks pretty fresh to me. So let's keep my ears open and duck underneath one of these rocks if I hear anything. Luckily, I think that type of thing happens earlier in the day or later. Later when the water in the rock starts freezing. So I don't know if that's totally accurate, but I'll keep my ears open anyway. So this chute has a lot of rock fall. It's kind of not the kind of thing you want to go up without a helmet, but I'm halfway up already. The Chockstone down there is the crux of the climb, and it's a little tricky. I'm not too worried about the up climb, but the down climb, we'll see. So this is hairy for me, so we'll see how it goes. Luckily I've got two guys that are helping me out here, so. Alright, pretty much at the top. This has this big football field. We're climbing that ridge over there. There's the summit over there. So we climbed up a chute just right to the left of this rock right here, followed this ridge around, and here's the big plateau, Mills Plateau, and this is the false summit. So you continue on around this, and there's a ridge going out that way. So not quite there, but almost. This is just the easy part. So we're at it's about 455 feet right now. So this is probably the most dangerous part of the climb. It is down climbing this chute. It's really loose. I'm trying to get down fast. The two guys I was climbing with, JD and Dave are their names, so they don't keep down rocks on top of me. So I need to kind of pick up the speed, but be safe at the same time. And then down climbing that Chockstone is going to be a challenge. So, but I think this will be okay. It's not too bad. So we'll see how it goes. I'll talk to you at the bottom. All right, I'm down, but that was not fun. I actually got stuck in one piece, and I lost my grip and fell for the first time ever. Luckily, it was a very short distance, but when you're on a steep incline like this, you still slide a bit. So that was really scary. One of the scariest times I've had on a peak. I think it's fair to say the down climbing is a little bit over my head. I can climb up it no problem, but down is a little more difficult. But we're in the clear now. Besides a little cut on my hand, or my pants are a little torn. I think there's a couple things on my arm, but other than that, I'm good. I'm gonna live. I got a good scrape there. Nice. So I knew when I was hanging out to that thing that I wasn't gonna die if I fell, but you still don't want to fall, obviously. It hurts. So all right, I'm gonna make it. So we'll get going here. So we're almost back to Lake Mills, which is right down there, and that's really good because I'm really tired. Walking on this talus, this angled loose rock, it just wears you down. It's tedious. But one thing I will say, these poles really help. This is the first real Sierra hike I've used poles on, and they're supposed to reduce up to 30% of the knee impact, and especially on this stuff. I'm sure it doesn't actually reduce 30% for me, but even if it's 5 or 10, it certainly helps on those downhills and makes me feel a little bit more stable. So you know, So we're heading on down to the lake. I'll be very happy when I get to Ruby Lake because there's a trail there. I don't have to deal with this talus anymore. But I gotta get up and go or else I'm gonna take a nap. And I can't take a nap now. So it's not nap time. Well, I guess I'm surviving. We're almost to Ruby Lake. Ruby Lake's right beyond this little puddle of water here. So that means trail the rest of the way. And that means not too long until beer. I cannot tell you how glad I am to be back on the trail. I was not taking too much more of that talus. Wiped out. So only about 2 more miles now and be back to the car.